Hello YouTube! This is going to be a quick little introduction video to let you guys know what this channel is about and what kind of content you can expect seeing here in the near future. The channel name is The Masochistic Gamer, or some of you might know me on other sites as Maduos. The main goal of this channel is to do something different, something that I haven't seen other people do before. I'm going to be taking suggestions for games and basically making the game as hard as it can be with certain restrictions. What game that is and what those restrictions are will be decided upon by the viewers. Now, let me lay down a couple base rules and explain this a little more. First of all, nothing impossible. Don't suggest something that is never going to be done. So, I can't even come up with anything off the top of my head, but if you suggest something that will stop me from progressing in the game or something that is just so damn hard that it actually cannot be done, I'm not going to waste my time. Number 2, all of my videos will be based off of suggestions from the viewers and people who post on a forum that I'm a part of. I'll link that forum in the description below, but either way, you describe the game, or you tell me the game, you describe what you want me to do, and I will follow those rules as for what you want me to do. So a good example for this is one of my suggestions that I already received was in the video game Just Cause 2, they gave me the requirement kill 30 enemies before touching the ground. They didn't specify what difficulty, they didn't specify what weapons I had to use, they didn't specify anything. So the majority of it is open to my imagination and what I plan to do with it, and I have to come up with a plan, like an area and so forth. So the main part of this rule is if there's a loophole, I'll find it and I'll use it. So, an example of that is, let's say I'm in a helicopter that has guns on it. Technically, I'm not touching the ground. If the loophole completely defeats the purpose of the challenge, I will not use the loophole. But again, that's completely up to my discretion whether or not I decide if it defeats the point or not. Number 3, I will look through every suggestion I get, and I will do the challenges that I find the most fun first. So it doesn't matter if you were the first person to ever suggest something or the last person. If I find your suggestion fun or enjoyable, I'll do it. Number 4, if your challenge is something that will take incredibly long and multiple hours of gameplay, a good example of this would be like beat Mass Effect only using the pistol or something like that. If you're telling me to beat something and it's a very long game that'll take multiple hours, I want more people's input on that challenge. So, it all depends on the suggestion, it all depends on the rules, it all depends on the game, and so forth. But if it's something that will take multiple hours just to attempt it, then I'm going to want some more people's input, because I really don't want to upload something and take my time to put something together, like a whole Fallout playthrough using only melee weapons and keeping the skill at 1, something like that. So, basically, I want community input on challenges that will take longer. Next up, I already suggested this on a forum, again, I'll link that below, and I have the current challenges. Number 1, Dark Souls. Finish the game as a level 1 Pyromancer. I may not level up throughout the entire game. I'll also tell my thoughts on them as I go. That sounds incredibly hard. Oh, I also forgot to mention, rule number 5 is only PC games, please. I don't have a capture card. If this takes off, I might get one in the future. But just for now, PC games only, please. Games with emulators also work. So, N64 games, SNES, whatever. Okay, number 2, Dishonored. Beat the game on the highest difficulty without being detected or killing anybody. I may only use the blink ability. That, I've never actually beaten Dishonored, so that one's really going to be hard. Half-Life 1 and 2. Beat the game using only the crowbar. Guns and explosives may only be used if necessary to progress in the story. Half-Life 1 and 2 are two of my favorite games of all time, and I'm definitely going to be looking into this one first. Or rather, it's going to be one of the first things that I upload, so be on the lookout for that. Minecraft. Score 100 points. Now, what the poster means by points is there's a whole bunch of rules regarding this, and I'll go into more information about it once I actually start the series on it, which will be relatively soon. Any Pokemon game of my choice. Beat the game using only my starter Pokemon and 2 other Pokemon of my choice. So any other 2 Pokemon that I encounter along my way, I can catch them and use them. I can only have up to 3 Pokemon. I cannot catch any others. Saints Row the Third. Beat the game without leveling up on normal difficulty. I've played and beaten Saints Row the Fourth, Saints Row 4, whatever they call it, and I really did like that game. I'll definitely look into this one. Any version of SimCity. Create a profitable city using only residential zoning. Now, I don't know if that's actually possible. I've heard people suggesting that it's possible in the newest SimCity, which I do own, so I will look into that and see if I can. And he also said that I may build anything that doesn't require residential zoning, such as hospitals, fire stations, and so forth. Splinter Cell Blacklist. Complete the game on the hardest difficulty setting without killing anybody or getting detected. So basically the same thing as Dishonored, except I don't have a blink ability, so that kind of sucks. Super Mario Bros. 3. Play through the game and beat it without collecting any power-ups. That one's interesting. I've beaten Super Mario 3 a few times, and I really do like the game. I think it's one of my favorite Mario games, to be honest. But without power-ups, that sounds like certain levels will take a hell of a long time. Super Street Fighter 4. Beat arcade mode as Dan without using any special or ultra combos. You must also taunt at least once per match on medium difficulty. I am a pretty big fighting game fan. I'm more into the Soul Calibur scene, but Street Fighter I'm not so good at. I haven't played through the arcade version before, and I also don't play as Dan, so that's going to be really hard to get into. And lastly, The Binding of Isaac. This is the video that I'll be uploading next. It'll probably be within an hour or two of this video being uploaded. The Binding of Isaac. Beat Mom's heart without collecting any items, power-ups, trinkets, cards, or anything. If it affects my character, my shots, my damage, anything like that, it will not be collected. Things such as hearts, bombs, and keys, and so forth can be collected. So, that one is simple enough. The rules are nice and clear. There's really no way to get any loopholes out of that. So I will be looking into that one first. As for what you can expect out of that list first, I would look for The Binding of Isaac first, Half-Life, probably The Binding of Isaac, Half-Life, and then followed by Just Cause. As for anything after that, totally up to you guys. I have a thread up on the forums, linked below. If you want to sign up and post, be my guest. If you want to leave a comment or send me a mail here on YouTube, I will read them. And I will make a Grandmaster list of every suggestion I get. Just remember the rules that I mentioned. Nothing impossible. I will take advantage of loopholes as long as it does not defeat the point of the challenge. And I will do the challenges that I find the most fun first. Just remember those three rules, and you'll be set. Any game, any requirement, you come up with the game and you come up with the requirement as long as it's on PC. And we'll get this started really soon. I'm really looking forward to how this turns out, and I hope you guys enjoy.